Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, the government has been taking advantage of Martha Koome's statements around terrorism. The statements she delivered the moment there was torching over Kiambu Law Courts, a police station. So Martha Koome made some references to terrorism. The extent
of this damage is not just an act of criminal elements, but an act of terrorism.
But if Martha Koome has come back because she has realized that that statement was taken out of context, and now everybody seems to be charged with terrorism. Now, there's something here she has delivered. It sounds like a warning to the DPP and in specific reference to also IG Kanja over these charges. So what she says is that terrorism is a grave offense, and every charge must be based on thorough investigation and credible evidence.
The Constitution envisages that this prosecutorial discretion must remain free from influence or direction by any individual authority, including we judges or me, the Chief Justice, or political actors. Therefore, it is important for Kenyans to appreciate that public comments by the Chief Justice or even victims of a crime at the scene of a crime do not influence or determine the charges to be brought before a court.
So in very few words, ladies and gentlemen, there is a very strong reason why Martha Koome has decided to come out publicly and deliver such a statement, telling the police that you must conduct thorough investigation, and also telling the DPP that you must make sure that the charges and the evidences presented match before you can actually present them to court. So the legal standards, those are the things that Martha Koome is trying to weigh in on. So looking at the way she has delivered the statement, it's as if she's not trusting the process also. So I'd like us to dig deep into this statement, this story, and what is really happening to the protesters who are still in custody. But before you do that, kindly take this opportunity, go below there and support the work we do on this channel by liking this video. Subscribe to our channel if you had not subscribed before, and to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Martha Koome's comments have come amid an ongoing debate over the imposition of terrorism charges on individuals who are arrested by police in connection with participation in protests.
That when people in the offices like DCI and others find that the control of the crowds and maybe activism has gone a bit too much for them, they will always try and find a way to round up people and charge them with something like terrorism to keep people away, scare them away from the streets. And
that is, the government cannot prove allegations of terror against those young people or anybody charged because of protests. They cannot. Mm-hmm.
Society does not get involved in the decision-making process. We have continued to raise concern if you look at even the definition under the Terrorism Act, which provides the ambits in which you can charge persons for terrorism. Because what we are seeing is weaponization of the law in attempts to ensure that people are held on higher bail and bond terms, because knowing full well that a charge under terrorism is a serious offense.
We want to secure these criminals to be free so that when the next protest happens, they will be in the streets assisting other criminals to interfere with peaceful protests, which is counterproductive.
Challenge him as well to arrest the goons that were seen alongside police. There have been several pictures capturing, and I hope those will be the ones that he'll ensure as well are brought before the court, because the courts should not be used to abuse the criminal justice system.
Now, these protests were witnessed in the country on the June 25th, Sabasaba Day, and June 19th. Now, for the June 19th one, That is all about the demonstration about Albert Ojwang. Then we have the June 25th, was more or less about the finance bill. Now for the Sabasaba one, which was dubbed as a mega demonstration, is all about everything that Kenyans are fighting for. Now you realize that the people who were arrested on the 25th and Sabasaba were, majority of them were, the charges which were put on them were terrorism charges. Now that made it quite impossible for them to bail themselves out. That's why you find that there is a particular case whereby a bail was issued of 50,000, they could not meet. That money was reduced to 40,000. Again, they have not been able to raise that. So what is happening is that they are still behind bars, those protesters who were arrested. If Martha Koome can go to an extent of issuing such a statement, one thing that I can make out of it is that Martha Koome has realized that the terrorism charges are being misused. That fact that people can be charged for terrorism, that is being misused. And the advice has been given to the police, advice has been given to the DPP. Both of them have been told to make sure that the presented evidences match the case. Police ifanye investigation umalize. But we've seen a tendency whereby police arrest protesters, hurriedly take them to court and say we need 20 days to conduct investigation. The big question is, why did you arrest this person and why did you present such a charge if you are not sure about it? So kuna mambo mengi, mambo ni mengi. That is why there's a time I spotted an article. It was regarding Martha Karua, and Martha Karua talked about something, this issue of trumped-up charges on majority of protesters. They were being charged for things they had not committed. Unaambua kitu ambao ukisikia hivi hata umekuwa charged na hiyo, watu unashtuka, roho inakuendea mbio, because ni kitu ambao ukutarajia. Being called a terrorist, ladies and gentlemen, is not a good thing.
Challenge him as well to arrest the goons that were seen alongside police. There have been several pictures capturing, and I hope those will be the ones that he'll ensure as well are brought before the court, because the courts should not be used to abuse the criminal justice system.
Perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.